So, as we continue, what's resonating with you the most? And what's one small step that you can take today to start improving your communication skills?
I think focusing on staying calm and rephrasing how I express concerns. It'll take practice, but it's a good place to start.
For me, it's active listening, really making sure Felicia feels heard before I respond. That's something I can work on right away. Judge, can I say something? I can listen to Felicia and give a response to say I heard what she said, but what she says is the real problem with our communication. She likes to instigate and start drama every time things don't go her way.
Give me an example of what that sounds like.
You know, when she says, don't have your little girlfriend around my children.
It's not a problem with my communication. It's a problem with him being a whoremonger.
I never had to pay women to be with me. You're just jealous that I no longer want to be with you.
Let's refocus. Felicia, let's hear him out. Ward, when she says that, how does that make you feel?
I feel like she is jealous of my relationships and don't want me to be with another woman.
Do you think that Felicia's statement has anything to do with co-parenting?
No, I guess you could call that trigger language.
Exactly. Felicia, is the example that Ward gave accurate?
Of course, I don't deny it. My comment to Ward is not because I'm jealous of his new love interest. He only wishes that I would be jealous or still interested in him.
Is that statement related to the well-being of the children?
Having my children exposed to all his women is problematic.
What were you trying to communicate to Ward when you made that statement?
Probably that the children should not be exposed to all his girlfriends.
Why do you think the children should not be exposed to Ward's girlfriends?
It could confuse them.
What type of confusion are you alluding to?
The other women may try to be their new mom.
Have you communicated this concern to Ward?
No, he doesn't get it.
Do you know if he leaves the children alone with these women?
I don't think so.
Ward, you heard Felicia's concern. You indicated earlier that you would work to use active listening to help improve communication between you and Felicia. Can you respond to Felicia and use the communication strategy that I shared earlier? Let me remind you of the 5 components included in the strategy. Focus on the child such that you keep the discussion child-centered and solution-oriented. Use I statements to express your feelings without assigning blame. Stay calm and take a moment to pause if emotions run high. Be specific and clearly outline your concerns and requests. And active listening should reflect back to what you heard to ensure that you understand what the other person said.
Felicia, know that the children are good when they are with me. I got them, Alora, Benny, and Charles. I am not trying to have any other woman replace you as a mother. When I introduce our children to any new woman, it's so that she understands that we come as a package deal. Just because I replaced you does not mean that I am trying to have another woman replace you as our children's mother. I hear your concerns, but those concerns are not valid. Our children are safe when they are with me. I don't leave them with other women, and I'm not trying to have anyone replace you as their mother. Judge, I'm going to stick to the strategy and stop here.
Felicia, your concern with who Ward is dating, as described, is not an issue related to co-parenting. Unless you can clearly identify how your children have been impacted by these women's actions, let it go. If an action impacts your children, raise it to Ward with facts and in the form of finding a solution to remedy it, not with an accusatory statement. Remember to stay in the lane of co-parenting and not the lane of broken relationships when engaging with Ward about the children. Also, here is the perfect opportunity to review my analogy of relationships with lanes. I would like you to envision 3 separate lanes. One lane is your intimate relationship lane. The next lane is your parenting lane. And the third lane is your co-parenting lane. The former intimate relationship is how you got here. And while that lane has reached a dead end, it has produced some off-ramps and new relationships. Those relationships are the parenting and co-parenting lanes. Parenting is the parent-child relationship, and the co-parenting lane is undertaken by parents who together take on the socialization, care, and upbringing of children for whom they share equal responsibility. The sharing of the duties of raising a child for the child's well-being. During this process, I will help to guide you back to the co-parenting lane. I suggest that you seek professional help to deal with broken intimate relationship and any other trauma that you may be dealing with. I will also encourage you to separate the lane of parenting and co-parenting. Each of those lanes require different skills and strategies to navigate through. As you commit to improving your communication skills, focus on learning and applying the strategies that we use during these sessions.
While I appreciate your explanations and Ward's response, the communication problem, as I see it, is problematic because of Ward's tone and his habit of involving the children in our disagreements.
So, give an example of the issue and present it in a way that uses the communication strategy with the 5 components we have been discussing.
I've been reflecting on some of the conversations that we usually have when the kids are around. I think it's really important that we address how we handle disagreements in front of the children, as they are really sensitive to the environment around them. I've noticed that when we have disagreements in front of the kids, they seem to get upset or confused. I'm concerned that it might be affecting their sense of stability, and I want to make sure we're both providing a calm and supportive space for them, especially when tough topics come up. I feel uncomfortable when we have arguments in front of them because I worry about how it impacts their emotional well-being. It's not about assigning blame, but more about how we can create a better environment for them, even if we don't always see eye to eye. I know these discussions can sometimes get heated, so I think it might be helpful for us to take a pause when emotions run high. Maybe we can agree that if things start to escalate, we'll step away and revisit the conversation later, when we can both approach it calmly. One specific request I have is that we try to avoid discussing disagreements in front of the kids unless it's something that's directly related to them, and even then, we could work on doing it in a way that's not confrontational. If we find it confrontational, we will have those discussions either privately or at a time when the kids are not around. Lastly, while I really appreciate hearing how you feel about this, if there's anything I'm not seeing, or if you have a different perspective, I'm open to hearing it. I just want us to find a way to handle our differences in a way that's less stressful for the kids.
I agree with you that the kids can definitely pick up on tension, even if we don't always realize it. I've noticed that when we have disagreements around them, they seem to get quiet or act differently afterward, and I don't want them to feel stressed or uncertain. I want to make sure they feel secure and loved, no matter what's going on between us. I've been thinking about what you said, and I can understand how it feels when we argue in front of the kids. I don't want them to feel caught in the middle, and I've realized that I might not always be as mindful as I could be in those moments. I'm sure I've contributed to that feeling, and I'm sorry if it caused any distress for them. I agree with you that it's important for us to pause and take a step back when things get heated. I know I can sometimes get frustrated, but I'm committed to staying calm and making sure we're both able to have those conversations in a more respectful way, especially when the kids are nearby. I am definitely on board with making sure we have disagreements or discussions in private or at least away from the kids. I think it would be helpful if we set up rules or agreed on when and where it's appropriate to have certain talks. Maybe if we need to discuss something sensitive, we can set a time to do that when the kids cannot ear hustle. I really appreciate you bringing this up and framing it in a way that allows us to get on the same page.
I thought the dialogue that I heard just now shows that you each were paying attention and are intentional about making changes to improve your communication with each other. So, here's your homework assignment. Over the next 2 weeks, keep a log of questions, statements, and responses between you two. Remember to use the communication strategy and all of its components. If you find yourself in a disagreement, schedule a time when the kids are not around to go through the process and find a resolution. Statements should be positive and provide information necessary for the well-being of the children. Questions should be an effort to solicit information that is necessary to advance the well-being of the children. No trigger language, no accusatory language. Just follow the 5 components and do the necessary work to be better. This first session with Felicia and Ward has presented some typical conflicts with co-parenting. They have outlined a lot of issues that we at Co-Parent Court will attempt to assist them through. Our hope for providing tools and guidance is to help them create a better co-parenting relationship so that they can have a positive impact on their children's well-being. So, like and follow Co-Parent Court on all social media platforms for the latest episodes and to keep up with me, Felicia and Ward.